Hey everyone, it's Hallie. I was getting a lot of requests for information about Isla Mujeres, and somebody on Cancun Care had asked me information also. Sorry, my laptop is wiggling, it's on my leg, so I'll just try to keep it still. Okay, Isla Mujeres. You can choose to book a package through any of the excursion companies that you see. However, you got to Cancun, be it through Orbitz, um, Apple Vacations. I'm trying to think of some of the reputable ones. I don't want to list Expedia because we're not friends right now. But anything like that, they have representatives at your hotel and you can set up an excursion with them. Otherwise, the hotel associates with its own people to get you all set up with all kinds of excursions and adventures that you want to get yourself on. I know at the Golden Parnassus, usually where the lobby is, the front desk, like it's where concierge used to be, but they moved it. But it's like in between where you walk in at and the front desk, and that pole, there's usually a sign with all kinds of excursions listed. They may have moved it because they did construction on it. I think like a $15 million renovation a few years ago. But I know the concierge desk is now like kind of in the center, like where you go down to go to the water closet or to the buffet or the sushi place where the beer garden used to be or still is. I forget if it's there still or not. I choose not to go through a company because I'm cheap and I like to do things the cheapest way possible, and I also like my own freedom. So, what you can do if you want to do it on your own and you want to do it the cheapest way possible, um, is you would take the bus. Um, you can pretty much take any bus. It depends on what port you're going to. So I always forget what bus it is to get to Puerto Juarez, but I just asked, and I believe it's the R1, but I'm going to get to that in a second. So there's quite a few ports that you can take to get to Isla Mujeres. You could take Playa Caracol, El Embarcadero, Playa Tortuga, or Puerto Juarez. Um, the most popular one, I would think, is El Embarcadero or Playa Tortuga. Um, the Embarcadero, that's like where that big tower is. Like, you can't miss the tower. And they're not bad. It's just a short bus ride from Golden. I'm not going to lie and say it's like 5 minutes. No, you're going to be on the bus for like, mm, depends on how many stops and how crazy traffic is and what time of day. I would say at least like 10, 15 minutes, maybe longer. I don't know, it's been 2 years since I've been there almost. But you'll know because it's after you go to the top of the seven and you go through where all the clubs are, and then it's still going to be like a few minutes after that, and you'll see the Embarcadero. I personally take Puerto Juarez. I'm just going to read you the rates right now for Ultramar, which is the name of the company that provides the ferry service. So from Playa Caracol, it's $17 round trip or $11 one way. From El Embarcadero, it's loading, sorry, my computer's a little slow today. It is the same price, $17 round trip or $11 one way. From Playa Tortuga, it is the same, $17 round trip or $11 one way. And from the magical Puerto Juarez, which is a little bit more difficult to get to, takes a little bit longer, and not all buses go directly to it. It's 140 pesos round trip or 70 pesos one way. 140 pesos at a horrible exchange rate is like $14. At a decent exchange rate, it's probably like 12, 50, $13, something like that. My math is horrible, so bear with me. But, it just depends on how much you're getting, pesos per dollar. Um, by the way, if you do want to exchange money, Puerto Juarez has like the most phenomenal exchange rate I've ever seen ever. And I don't know if it's still like that, but every single year when I go there, they, excuse me, they seem to always give me 14 pesos a dollar. Even the last time I was there, I think it was like 12.5, like for xe.com, the actual currency exchange rate site, so you know how much it's actually worth. They were giving me 14, which is more than it's worth. So I was like totally blessed. And I was really excited, and I was like, oh, I'm going to exchange like all that I have. So, let me see here. Alright. So, yeah, so as you can see, it is a couple dollars cheaper to go from Puerto Juarez. Now, you can make up your mind as to whether you think it's worth it or not. I also think that the trip is a little bit shorter from Puerto Juarez. I think it's just way too long from any of the other ports. Um, but so you would take the Ultramar ferry. Most of the trips that you would see for an excursion, if you're booking it through your hotel or through whoever booked your vacation for you, I find that their rates are sometimes really high. Like occasionally you could find it for a pretty decent price, but usually I've seen it like 65 to 100 plus per person. So this, like, say that you did even Playa Tortuga. Okay, so $17 a person, right? And then when you get off, you'll see the golf carts right in front of you. And there's so many different places that you can rent golf carts from. I would not pay any more than 45 to 47, maybe even $50 per day. And even though it says per day, most of the places close at 4:30. You must keep a watch on you because if you are late, they're gonna charge you like half your rental or maybe more. Like I think I've heard of stories of like $30. So you have to be really careful. And sometimes they're not even there, and then it just depends. Um, so $45. They hold 4 people. I think they have ones that hold 2 people. But obviously, if it's $45 for the day and you have 4 people, you're splitting that 4 ways. It makes it like 11 something a person. So say that you do have 4 people with you. So it's already $17 for your ferry if you're taking the closer port, and then um, it'll be your 11 whatever for 11:20. No, 11:25. I'm sorry, guys. It's 2 o'clock in the morning here in Jersey. Um, so yeah, it'll be like 11.25 a person. So you're up to like $28, and then yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Like 28 bucks a person, you're there. And no, it doesn't include like snorkeling and all that, but bring your snorkel stuff from home. You can take your golf cart to Playa Norte, which is when you come off the ferry, just turn left, and you'll see the beautiful beach. It's so peaceful. You get like the perfect place to read a book. There's all kinds of vendors selling all kinds of things. So if you get hungry, thirsty, if you want to buy any kind of knickknacks or souvenirs, that's like the best place to do it. The water is so beautiful there. It's peaceful. There are little waves crashing, but it's not like a crazy strong undertow. You can go out pretty far and still only be a little bit deep. They do have it roped off because obviously you don't want to swim into like an Ultramar ferry. That wouldn't be too cool. But I just love the atmosphere there. It's beautiful. Um, let's see. So yeah, you could take the golf carts and drive around the island all day. You do have to be careful because there are speed bumps, um, and sometimes the cars behind you like won't care, and then sometimes the cars behind you get a little pissed off. So you have to be like mindful of traffic. It just depends. Um, Trying to think. Okay, so at the very south end, I believe it's the south end anyway. My little guy's waking up. You okay? He's okay, he's just cranky. So at the very south end, at least I think it's the south end, it's the opposite of the north end, so I'm going to call it the south end. There is a lighthouse, there is the wedding pagoda, which is just like a little pavilion, like a that what they're called? A pavilion? I don't know. It's like those things, and you go inside and sit in them. I don't know. So there's that, and then there's like this, um, I don't know, it's some kind of art or whatever, and it's like you have to pay a couple dollars to go through, and you could walk through like little pathways and see art, and you're like standing really close to like the edge of like a really huge cliff. I have never done that. I get really close to it and just take pictures of the art from a distance, in which I can show you pictures of that if you want to see them. Um, but I just go to the other side. It's free. I don't have to pay anything, and whatever. Some people don't do pay. Don't get me wrong. I definitely recommend. There's a little lighthouse there. I am terrified of heights. Like I'll go on roller coasters, but I can't stand on a chair. Go figure, right? Um, so the lighthouse, like the steps are really creepy. It's a lighthouse, spiral staircase. But then when you get to the top, it's like, it's really scary, but it's beautiful up there, and you get to see like so far, and like if you look, you can see Cancun in the distance. So cool, and I took a lot of pictures up there too. Um, Downstairs, it depends. A couple times I went there and there was nothing there downstairs from the lighthouse. And then the last time that I went there, they had like all these little huts set up, and like this one guy made me fresh coconut and coconut juice, and he squirted it with like lime and stuff. Me and Norma had that. Delicious. And they go crazy with the machete. They could seriously whack somebody's head off like without even trying. So back to where the wedding pagoda is, it's all like in the same vicinity. Like you'll see it. It's within, I don't know, 30 feet of each other. By the way, there is a bathroom there, and you do have to pay to use it. I know it sounds crazy. I think it's like, I don't know, 5 pesos, which is like 50 cents at a really bad exchange rate. So it's not bad at all. And I have a sign and a picture of the sign, so, because I just thought that was awesome that you had to pay to use the bathroom. um, So anyway, where the wedding pagoda is, you have to be really careful, but unless they changed it or blocked it off, there's a little stump. Like if you look to the right, there's a little stump. Well, it's not really little. It's like a foot and a half high, maybe 2 feet high. It's pretty wide, and there's a stump like in between two bushes. Like the bushes end, and then there's a stump like blocking it, kind of like fake blocking it. So you like look over where the stump is, and then you can see like the Garafon Park. It's like down beneath there, and then you can see Cancun in the distance also. My friends and I went over the stump, and then there's like a really crazy ledge right there. Again, you have to be careful because there's nothing stopping you. So if you slip and fall, you're dropping like, I can't even guess how many feet. I would say definitely like at least 40 feet. Like it's pretty high up. And yeah, it's crazy. You don't want to fall. But it's a really, really beautiful place to take pictures. You just have to be really careful, and I'm pretty sure you're not allowed there. Or maybe you are. I don't really know. It's not like it says no trespassing or anything like that, not even in Spanish. Um, so if you walk around that side, like you walk around back to the other side where, like the other side of the lighthouse, um, where I said they had those huts and you could see like the artwork little cliff thing. I don't know what it's called. Um, excuse me. That is what I call Rock Beach. On that side of the island, I believe it would be considered the hmm. I believe it would be considered the west side of the island, and that's just a guess. Maybe it's the east side. I don't know, dude. Anyway, whatever side of the island it is, it's like all rock on that side of the beach, and they have it like with these wires over it so you can't go out, but some people do. And definitely don't want to tan there, that's for sure, although I know in France there is like rock beaches. Um, so if you look on that little lookout I was talking about where you can see the little cliff with all the artwork, there's rocks there, and you'll see like so many iguanas. I always take pictures, and they're not like, some are scared of people, but for the most part they're so used to people at this point that they just don't care. Talking too much, my mouth is starting to hurt. I'm gonna make a new video because I'm getting really close to the 15-minute mark, so I will be right back.